Greetings from the mountains of Colombia. As you can see, we're here in the Andes, about an hour from Bogota. And my name is J Weiskopf. The name of the series is Ayahuasca Express. Although we're going to deal with a lot of other subjects, that is the core of this series. The Inganos have been traveling herbalists for centuries. This is documented by Michael Tausig. And you can still find their stalls in and around many marketplaces in Bogota. They sell amulets, they sell medicinal plants, they even sell ayahuasca, but I wouldn't recommend anyone to try it because the quality is doubtful. So, Don Antonio, as he was called, was a very adventurous fellow in keeping with his ethnic group. He had traveled around Central America. He had spent a number of years in Venezuela. He returned to Sibundoy and built the biggest house there a white man or indigenous man had. And so I started drinking with him, now in two different circumstances. He was one of the first to open the sessions in Bogota to anyone. As I said before, it had been rather exclusive, and all the visits of the Taitas were very infrequent. He set himself up, he'd spend a few months at a time, and he'd hold sessions every weekend. And this was crazy, 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 but also, looking back, I have a certain nostalgia because it was very energetic, very, very, how can I put it, explosive. And they were usually in city apartments, crowded city apartments, 30 or 40 people. Can you imagine? One toilet. I don't know how we survived. And of course, some people are well, some people are freaking out, some people have to go to the toilet. And he, in a way, encouraged it. He liked it to be as frenzied as possible. No, I mean, he was a serious healer at the same time. He would call people up one by one and, heal them with his leaf fan and his chants. But he was also very irreverent, and he liked to make fun of people, and he was very extroverted, a lot of charisma. He wasn't the only one, but he was certainly, there were very few at the time, he was certainly the best known, the most celebrated, and with his sons as well, who participated. And looking back, it was far from the ideal place to do ayahuasca or Yajé, but it was kind of had a kind of crazy enchantment of its own. But anyway, in the middle of this was about 2 or 3 years, then competitors began to arrive, and as I said, I can't count the number of shamans who are coming to Bogota or the big cities like Medellin, more and more all the time. But he was one of the very few at that time. But in the middle of this, I had a sort of family crisis, and I couldn't handle Bogota anymore, and I thought, to hell with it. I'm going to go live in his house and do a kind of retreat, ayahuasca retreat there with him. So, as I said, he had a big, comfortable house on the outskirts of the village. Had a room, there's electricity, running water, which we didn't have in the Putumayo, the lower Putumayo, in the jungle. Big family. He had, 15 children. And I was sort of welcomed into the family. And so I was drinking more intensively. It was, instead of once a week, sometimes it would be twice a week. And I had the usual upsets and the usual disgraces. But what hadn't happened in the jungle is no one had prepared me for dealing with the purge, for dealing with all these harsh physical and emotional and sensorial effects. My visits had been too rushed. As I said, there was a distance with the people, the community. I was an outsider. I mean, of course, everyone who gives you Yajé, whether he's a white man or an Indian, will tell you have to be calm, you have to, trust in God, you have to keep quiet, you have to, endure the purge, but these are sermons. I mean, in my experience, these are lessons you can only learn, like those of life in general, the hard way.